not Bob. Hermatica's kick sails, and James Thrash will down it in the end zone, and it gives us a chance to set the Washington offense. The line: Chris Samuels, Sims, Fisher, Trey Johnson, and John Jansen. Two of the best offensive tackles you'll see on one team. The receivers: Irving Fryer, Stephen Davis, of course, the runner. Larry Centers, the all-purpose back, Alexander and Connell.
You know, you talk about those two tackles, Pat. They're two young guys, too. Chris Samuels right there, of course, is a rookie. And on the other side is John Jansen, who's a second-year guy. But these guys are very, very good players.
Davis cuts the corner for about 6, stopped by Damian Robinson. Let's look at the Tampa defense. Warren Sapp, the leader of that group, but they can all play and they're all quick. Behind them, Duncan, Quarles, and one of the very best, Derek Brooks, and that's the secondary, led by John Lynch. There's Warren Sapp.
That's interesting. He's not in there.
Yeah. Davis nudges for a couple, a little bit shy of a first down.
I don't know. No, I was just saying, I don't know what this is all about. Tyoka Jackson, number 97, has started at that tackle position. Warren Sapp, the best player on their defense, isn't starting.
Those of you who watched Minnesota beat Detroit 31-24, welcome to Landover, Maryland. Redskins and Buccaneers, where this is the first offensive series for Washington. Brad Johnson sneaks it for the first down.
Well, this is the thing that North Turner was talking about that the Redskins have to do is you want, they have a big and good offensive line. They have a good running back in Stephen Davis, and be able to start control there, because one thing about this Tampa Bay defense, they're very good, they're very quick, they can all run, they can all tackle, but they aren't big guys. The Washington Redskin offensive line is big.
And why is Warren Sapp on the sideline?
That's the mystery of the minute.
Johnson back to throw it. Does. Incomplete. No flag.
Oh, there's the flag right
there
now.
Comes one.
That's going to be on Rondé Barber. Looks like Connell got to the inside of Barber, and Barber grabbed him after he got inside running a slant. Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
Walt Coleman is the referee. And that'll be an automatic first down.
Pass interference, 20, defense, automatic, first down.
You're going to see it right here. See, when Connell comes to get to the inside, Barber right here is going to grab him. See, he comes up, it's going to be a slant. Now watch right there when he starts inside. See him grab him right there just before the ball got there. But that Sapp thing is really strange.
Yeah,
I wonder if he missed curfew or something last night, because his health isn't a problem. He doesn't have any injuries.
Well, we saw him in the lobby of the hotel.
Yeah, and then we talked to the players last night and the coaches, and no one
talked to him, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, we talked to Monty Kiffin, the defensive coordinator, and no one mentioned Warren Sapp not starting the game. I bet it's something. We left the hotel last night about 7 o'clock, their hotel, and I would bet, if I were to guess, that something happened after 7 o'clock when we left.
I would bet you're absolutely correct. 2nd and 9 as Johnson goes back to throw. Davis on the receiving end, and the Buccaneers react quickly.
And that's the thing about that Buck defense is you don't get a lot of run after the catch. I mean, you're going to complete some, but watch how they rally around the ball. I mean, they're going to get this play pass here, and you see you get a little motion, and then you're going to, fake the run in there, and then come on through. But watch the tackle. I mean, when they hit, boom, right there, that's the end of it. Stephen Davis doesn't make another inch after Shelton Quarles hits him.
3rd and 4, 3 wide receivers. Out of the shotgun is Brad Johnson. I don't know if he got the first down or not. Derek Brooks was there in a hurry after Irving Fryer made the reception.
And that's not going to be a first down. And Yeah, I mean, I harken back to that. To me, there's no excuse for that. When you only have like 3rd and 4, you have to run your pattern beyond the first down mark. I mean, you can say, okay, 3rd and 15, everyone's not going to run at 17. But that was like 3rd and 4. And Irving Fryer knows better than that.
Irving Fryer's been around as long as we have, almost. 17 years for the veteran from Nebraska.
Just had a birthday the other day.
Oh, Williams lets it bounce, and it takes a Redskin hop. Downed by David Terrell at about the Buccaneer 5. No scores yet, but Tampa Bay has a long way to go.
The world's greatest cricketing nations.
Back in the nation's capital. 0-0 between the Redskins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs starting at their own 5. They're still trying to find out what's the problem with Warren Sapp.
The one thing they did say, it was a coach's decision, so we're not talking about an injury.
Allstott covering up, gets out to the 10, picked up 5. Tampa Bay's offensive unit. First of all, the offensive line: Pearson, McDaniel, Jeff Christie, both acquired during the offseason, Middleton, and Jerry Wunsch. Jaquez Green, Dunn, Allstott, Moore is the tight end, and Keyshawn Johnson. 1 pass for 1 yard last week against the Jets.
And they all said they wanted to get him involved in this game early, but this is tough field position to do it.
That's Allstott. Got only 1. Now let's look at the Redskin defense. They had trouble last season stopping people, so they went for help. Bruce Smith, Stubblefield, and Wilkinson. The linebackers, Barber, Derek Smith, and LeVar Arrington, their first-round draft choice. In the secondary, they went and got Deion Sanders, Mark Carrier, Shaden Bailey are back from last year.
Now here's where Bruce Smith is at his best on a passing down. He is going to be coming.
Pass complete to Keyshawn Johnson. I don't know if he got the first or not. Covered by Champ Bailey. Bruce Smith hurdled the blocker and hurt himself.
I think it was Warwick Dunn. Watch him. The tackle blocks down. Bruce Smith is going to be coming in here. It was Warwick Dunn. He jumped right over Warwick Dunn, and then when he got there, Pete Pearson was there waiting for him. That was something.
Yeah.
And Keyshawn Johnson did get that first down.
Indy Kalu replaces Bruce Smith. That's Warwick Dunn back to the line of scrimmage, maybe.
You know, what the Bucs are thinking running-wise is if they want to block the safeties, run outside, and make these 2 corners play. In other words, they want to run at Deion Sanders. So if you run inside, you're not going to make Deion Sanders tackle. And if you run outside and don't block the safeties, you're not going to make them tackle. So you have to run outside, block the safety, and the only guy left, supposedly, should be the corner.
2nd and 10. This is Allstott on the move. Warwick Dunn. Nothing there again.
You know what happens is sometimes you get yourself in a bind doing that, though. You know, the thing that you do best is run inside. So now you see their weakness is outside, so you try and run outside at their weakness, but it's not your strength. I think that's what the Bucs are starting to do right now.
Bruce Smith is back. Riddell Anthony in the Tampa Bay lineup as they go with 3 wide receivers.
There's Bruce Smith right there, and this is when he's his most dangerous.
Sean King in the pocket going deep. Overthrows Jaquez Green, who had a couple of steps.
Just watch Bruce Smith. You see, first of all, they take their tight end, have their tight end block them. Then they bring their left tackle, Pete Pearson, and have him get him. So they aren't going to let Bruce Smith just be out on the edge. First of all, they put their tight end, Dave Moore, there. Then they double him with Dave Moore and their tackle.
Deion Sanders and Tony Dungy said last night they were going to directional kick. Weren't going to blow it just right down the field to Deion, and he gets maybe a couple of hops, and that's all. 0-0 with 7:23 left to play in the first quarter. Warren Sapp still on the side. 0-0 score. The Redskins spread them out, and Johnson drops the throw. Andre Reed. Punt coverage. This is a new.
Matt, here's John McLaughlin here. He's a defensive end. Now, usually you get a defensive back or a little guy out there. Watch it. He makes a quick move, then he just runs right through those two defensive backs. And they're saying, what the heck is this all about? I don't want any part of that guy.
Let him go.
They call that outside guy on the punt, the gunner. We're going to have to find another word where McLaughlin shooting cannons when you get guys out there that size.
Tampa Bay has challenged the ruling on the field that it is a completed catch at the sideline.
Tampa Bay has challenged. You heard Walt Coleman say it was a completed catch.
Again, he has to have both feet in bounds when he has control. So it's not only the feet, but it's control of the ball. He doesn't have control yet. No, that's a good challenge.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's not a complete pass because they were looking. The official was probably looking at his feet and saw that his feet were in, but he didn't have control. So it's feet in and control.
Tampa Bay had a challenge last week that the NFL, in fact, called and said we were wrong. You were right, meaning Tampa Bay was right.
Well, it was Jaquez Green running down the sideline. They said he stepped out of bounds, and he didn't. And they wouldn't let him challenge it because they said they blew the whistle. This one, both feet were in bounds, no control, so this will be reversed. See, they got new shields.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Remember they used to stick a hood over their head or something?
Yeah, they had to go down in there.
Yeah, and now they just stay outside there. And again, he'll see that thing that we saw already. Tony Dungy, I would think, would win this challenge, and then he won't be charged a timeout.
The second time I looked at it, I'm not sure. I mean, I agree with you, but I'm really not that sure.
You see Brad Johnson scratch his head. He says that for some reason during a football game, he gets a nervous itch. And he just goes and just his head starts to itch, and he has to take his helmet off, and he scratches. Look at that. He has that down pretty good now.
Yes, he does.
Before, and he said there's something that just comes on game day.
Yep. He's taking a long look at this. Tony Dungy.
That's why you always have to have, the official always has to see the feet and the ball. You just can't look at the ball and nor just the feet.
Walt Coleman is going to tell us what he decided after viewing.
That's a lot of time and work and effort for an 8-yard play.
After reviewing the play, the pass is incomplete at the sideline. The player was juggling the ball before he got 2 feet down. Once he gained possession, he only had 1 foot in. That'll be 3rd down. Tampa Bay is not charged a timeout.
Here's what he's talking about. See the ball pop up there,
Yep.
and then now he has control, but then that left foot's out.
Yep. So a worthwhile challenge, 2nd and 10, and they don't lose a timeout.
I don't know if it's worthwhile or not. I mean, you know, I guess would be they lose a challenge.
Yeah.
They don't lose a timeout, but they lose a challenge.
I know, second.
I wonder how many times you finish a game with challenges left. I bet a lot.
Now, I would think if I were doing it, and I never coached with a challenge system, but I would think if I were doing it that I would save it for the second half.
It'll be second down and 10.
Well, they probably wouldn't have challenged you anyway.
Who wouldn't have challenged? No, I would have challenged them. I know you would. Yeah, I could have had every play that I ever coached. I could have challenged what they said.
Yeah.
And if they didn't say anything, I could have challenged what they thought.
I had that in my book. I knew that. Stephen Davis straight ahead. And moves it about 5 yards up to midfield.
You know, Warren Sapp must have done something pretty bad to keep him out of a big game like this.
He had a missed curfew.
Yeah, because I think it's something, you know, because sometimes you hurt the rest of your team too by not playing.
Well, that's going on right now. The other guys are playing well, but
yeah, but they're not Warren Sapp. I mean,
no,
Warren Sapp is so strong and so quick in there that he gets into that backfield and raises havoc. Oops.
Flag on the play.
I think that's Larry Centers. I think Larry Centers moved before the ball was snapped.
Well, the Bucs were coming on a blitz from the outside.
Larry Centers must have been the hot receiver, and he was trying to get out
Prior
there.
to the snap, false start, 77, offense, 5 yards, still third down.
Trey Johnson.
At 77 and 37.
Yep.
They were both leaving. But again, sometimes you see that blitz come up there, and you know the guy's going to be there, and you see a little movement, so you know you have to move to that side, so you just start to flinch a little. And that's all it takes, because once you get set, the offensive lineman, you cannot move.
3rd and 11. No score yet. Johnson out of the shotgun, takes the throw, and down he goes. Marcus Jones, first to get there.
We just
a Redskin down.
Oh, excuse me, Pat. I was saying we just got a report on Warren Sapp from the general manager. From Rich McKay, said that it's a disciplinary action on Warren Sapp, and that the Buccaneers will have no comment on it until after the game. So that's from general manager Rich McKay.
Well, I wonder if he's out for the rest of the day, or if it's just discipline for right now.
I would bet that he's not going to play today if they would make that statement.
6:16 left in the first and no score. Williams back to field the punt, signals fair catch, and makes it at about the 22-yard line, where the Buccaneers will take over. No scores yet. Trey Johnson would too. King fakes to Allstott, throws outside to Patrick Hape. One of the 3 tight ends the Buccaneers have. There's Trey Johnson.
Let's go back and look what happened again. Watch Brad Johnson here. Marcus Jones is going to come in and hit him. Now, you don't think a quarterback can feel a guy coming? Did you see Brad Johnson just before Marcus Jones hit him? He closed his eyes. He knew Marcus Jones was going to be there, and then look how he gets whipped right into Trey Johnson.
Right down on his back of his leg. 2nd and 7. Sean King out of the shotgun. Throws quickly to Keyshawn Johnson, who makes the reception, but only about a 3-yard gain. Right down for a game break. Hold it a second. There's a flag down on the field before the game break.
And one of the things that Keyshawn Johnson
Flag on the last play, the reception to Keyshawn Johnson. Walt Coleman in conference.
One of the things that Keyshawn Johnson was saying, that they wanted to get him the ball early, get him involved early on quicker short stuff. But that was about a none-yard pass. I think they made a little deeper than that.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 73. Offense, 15 yards. Still be second down.
That's Frank Middleton.
Frank Middleton is number 73. He's a right guard. And you're going to see this is going to be a late one. Keyshawn Johnson catches that ball. Now you're going to watch coming from your left right there. Frank Middleton came down and hit Dana Stubblefield.
So they'll back the Buccaneers up to about the 16-yard line, maybe the 15.
That was pretty close. I mean,
yeah,
you want your guys to get down there and hustle, and the only thing, I mean, that wasn't a clip or it wasn't anything other than they would have to say that it had to be after the whistle. Talk about intense and tough. That guy right there, John Lynch.
Yes, sir.
You saw there is one intense, tough guy.
This is a timeout, Tampa Bay. You can see there was some confusion going on back in the huddle. Views of this sellout crowd you're seeing are brought to you today by Monster.com's blimp Trump. Monster.com operates 2 blimps in the U.S. And you can read more details about Monster.com's blimps on their site.
They're keeping a tight end over on this side again for Bruce Smith.
Outside to Keyshawn. No gain, or maybe a yard. They got to get him involved, they feel, but
and the short, quick stuff, I think, has to be a little deeper and longer developing.
I think so too.
Although this is bad down and distance, and we're talking about 2nd and 20 and 3rd and 20, and we're talking about bad field position on the -15. So this is no time to try and establish anything other than don't get a turnover. That's probably one of the best things Sean King does.
Out of the shotgun, he'll operate. Low snap, but he feels it without problem. Flag on the play as King scrambled away, got Wes Green. The pass is intercepted by Darrell Green. And Darrell Green is down. He's still running, but he's ruled down. A flag on the play.
I think the flag is going to be against Tampa Bay.
I think so too.
So this will probably be an interception. That's going to be holding against the Bucs. So this will be the Redskins' ball. Isn't Darrell Green something? I mean, there is an amazing guy.
Offense, penalties decline. First down.
This is his 18th season, Darrell Green's, and he's had an interception now in every one of them. This is his first interception of the year. Here he is right down here in the bottom of the screen, number 28. You see Sean King starts to scramble a little, and then he knows he has one-on-one in the middle of the field, so he just heaves it up there, hoping to get a jump ball. He gets a jump ball, but Darrell Green comes up with it.
Ran the fastest 40 this year when they started training camp at the age of 40.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. He even borrowed a pair of shoes to do it. He said, "Oh, heck, I've been doing that stuff for so long. I know how to do that." That's Bruce Smith. This is what you do when you go from defense to offense. You go from pass rusher to blocker, and that's an old rule that on an interception, someone always goes and gets the quarterback.
Yep. The Buccaneers came on a blitz. The pass was intended for Albert Connell.
Yeah, and the blitz was John Lynch, and that was right in the area that Brad Johnson was thrown to. Brad Johnson did a good job of getting this ball off because Lynch is going to come right here in his face. And you see it, and it's a good pickup. And Brad Johnson was able to step up and throw it right in there. I think that's why Sellers is playing more than centers, because Mike Sellers is a guy that can play tight end, H-back, or fullback, but is a very good blocker.
And a big guy. Morrell is in the backfield this time. They're trying to screen to him, but the Buccaneers get Johnson. The ball did come out. Bucs are saying they got it. And they did.
Hey, it was a great job back here by Brooks. Derek Brooks had to screen because Johnson was going to go out here. Then he was going to screen back here, and Derek Brooks was right there. Derek Brooks had the coverage. So that meant that Johnson had to put the ball down. Now, when Johnson puts the ball down, watch, it comes out just as he starts to go down.
Yep. It fell out before he hit the ground.
But they were going to roll to the right and throw a screen back here to this side. Now watch Derek Brooks. He's going to feel it back here. He's back here in this other side. He covers it, and then Brad Johnson can't throw it.
Damian Robinson came up with it for Tampa Bay. First and 10 at the Washington 25 for Tampa. Keyshawn Johnson was the man in motion. Sean King throwing deep and away and out of bounds.
I'll tell you, Sean King, if you watch him enough, he will throw some of the ugliest passes in the NFL. But you know, again, he's a game manager. He's not going to win a lot of games for you, but he's not going to lose. He's not going to do real stupid things. That time there, although he just did throw an interception to Darrell Green, but that time there was first down. He knew he had nothing open, so he just threw it away.
Second and 10. Allstott. Good tackle by Mark Carrier.
Yeah, it was interesting. Tony Dungy was saying, you know, we're talking about that fumble and Mike Allstott fumbling last week, and then the Jets got the ball back and won the game. He said that in college he injured his left wrist, and then he never felt comfortable in carrying the ball with his left hand. So he always carries it in his right hand, no matter where the tacklers are coming from. And he said that gets him in trouble, but that's what he's going to do. He said, but as Tony said, he just has to learn, if you're not going to carry the left hand, at least at the end, put that left hand over it.
3rd and 8 outside to Warwick Dunn. Dunn down inside the 10, knocked out by Carrier.
This is the thing that they like to do is now when you see Dunn get out here, that means that somewhere in here they're going to get a pick, because you see they get a blitz here, so he becomes the hot receiver. No one covers him. The closest guy is the deep defensive back. Now that's what they figure when they bring the blitz, that Warwick Dunn has to stay in and block him. They let the blitzer go and throw the ball hot to Warwick Dunn.
That's Dunn again to the 5, just across the 5. Stopped by Marco Coleman.
This is Tampa Bay football.
Yep.
You know, where they just play if they're, you know, in good field position. They're just going to ball control, you know, run the ball, throw the little short passes. Look at Sean King there. He's looking at the wristband. He gets the play. They call the plays by number. So he gets the number, then he takes the play off the wristband.
2 tight end setup.
Whoops.
A minute 53 is someone jumped. Someone moved too soon.
Well, Dan Wilkinson of the Redskins jumped first, but he's pointing to the Buccaneers saying that they moved. They're saying they did.
Encroachment, 95, defense, half the distance to the goal.
That's Wilkinson.
Still 2nd down.
And I think when he runs that far in, you have to call it more than encroachment, but what Big Daddy's saying there is that someone moved or someone flinched. Here he is right here. Now, does anyone move? Or he moved? The only thing, I mean,
Middleton did move just a little bit.
Well, you know, when you're like Middleton and you're going about 335 pounds,
yeah.
You tip the Toledos and that, you know, just moving, you're just flinched, you're going to move.
Allstott gets in. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, this is where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the best, is when they just run right, you know, straight ahead. They started out and they started going to the side, and then they said, okay, we're going to run right at you. And here they are with the umpire come. Now watch what he does here. He has the ball in his right hand, Allstott does, but watch him put that left hand over it. There's no way that on this, that ball is going to pop out of there. And then even look at the end. Even after he's in there, he's going to take one more shot and just put that left hand over it to make sure.
An injured Buccaneer is Middleton.
Middleton was the guy they said flinched on that play that Wilkinson moved across the line of scrimmage, but that was a good surge by Middleton. Middleton, Jeff Christie, Randall McDaniel. And then as Tony Dungy said, you know, we thought about changing from Allstott, but he said he's our closer. Yep. He said in baseball, sometimes you bring in a closer in and they hit a home run off him, but he's still your closer. He said Allstott is still our short yardage and goal line guy.
And he has been for quite a few games and quite a few years.
He's pretty good at it.
Yes,
too.
he is.
And when he does those kinds of things like that, he's one of the better.
Royals will hold Gramatica for the extra point, which is good.
Yeah, here's Frank Middleton now. You're going to see the right guard there. You see he turns and makes the hole there for Allstott. And then after the ball is beyond them, geez, that looked like the same thing that happened to Trey Johnson. Yeah, they just fell down on his right knee once it was in the ground.
The race for the World Series on Fox begins as the New York Yankees. All kind of things can depend on what happens in those baseball games out west. Seattle and Oakland both still alive.
Pat, anything can happen out west.
Yeah, it usually does. This is James Thrash picking his way out to the 30, just short of it. Jeff Gooch brought him down.
Yeah, we mentioned how the Buccaneers haven't had Warren Sapp yet, but these guys that are in there now with and without their blitzes have sure put a lot of pressure on Brad Johnson thus far. They've sacked him twice, they've hit him 3 times, hurried him once, and of course he's had 1 fumble.
And that they turned into a touchdown.
And he had that 1 whip where he got hit and he got Trey Johnson out of there. So it's been a tough first quarter for Brad Johnson.
Nothing there as the Buccaneers play it tough again for Steve Davis.
Well, you know what they do? They play a lot of cover 2, the Buccaneers do, and then on running downs, they get John Lynch up there, number 47, and he's a strong safety. But when they get him up tight to the line of scrimmage, he's like another linebacker. And this is what they talk about. You see, when they have him now back here, they show you a cover 2, but once you start to run, he's going to fire up in there.
Here's Brad Johnson back to throw it. Loops the screen pass over. The ball hit the ground first. No play.
So that'll just be an incomplete pass on. That has to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneers shoe.
Black.
Or an official shoe. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one of the few teams in the NFL that wear black shoes. And the shoe rule, that was an official shoe. Yeah. That was the umpire's shoe. We have a camera on his shoe, too. We have the umpire. You see that? We have the umpire cam and the umpire's shoe cam. And that was a picture from his shoe. That's something when you go from the umpire cam to the blimp cam in one shot.
Yep. And the shoe cam, too. Brad Johnson back to throw. Gets it out of there to Larry Centers. Derek Brooks there in a hurry along with Rondé Barber. Trey Johnson has a sprained knee and will not return.
See, that's the thing that the Buccaneers do so well. You know, we talk about their quickness. You see Rondé Barber there. You see Derek Brooks here. And then when they get there, they have great position and they're great tacklers. So you really, to get a first down, you have to get the ball beyond the first down marker. These guys do not miss tackles.
Carl Williams fields it for the Buccaneers and takes it out to about the 28-yard line, where the Bucs take over. 1 second.
You know, we talked about the hits that Brad Johnson has taken. He's getting pummeled today. I mean, they have to do a better job of protection, or he's not going to be able to finish this game. He took a shot last week from
Jackson that time. Excuse me.
You know, he took a shot last week in the Giant game. Remember, he completed that post down the middle, and I think it was Jesse Armstead that hit him, but he said during the week he had to go to the x-ray shop. I said, well, what they x-rayed? He said, just the whole front of my body.
Everything.
But all his parts were still intact.
King goes high for Jacquez Green. That's the end of the first quarter with the score Tampa Bay 7, Washington nothing. Fox NFL Sunday. And the handoff is to the big guy. First quarter statistics gives you an idea of the tough time the Redskins have had. 2 yards passing, 17 minus 2 yards, 17 rushing. For a total of 15.
And you'd have to say that this is a defensive battle because neither offense has really done much. And both defenses aren't playing well.
3rd and 6. King out of the shotgun just fires upfield quickly. As he saw the blitz coming, LeVar Arrington was unblocked.
And again, when you get an empty backfield and they get an extra rusher, you just have to get rid of the ball. I mean, he saw a receiver there in the middle, but he wasn't throwing to the receiver. He was just throwing away from the deep safety.
Right. Barnhart back to punt. Deion Sanders will field this one at about the 17-yard line. And Deion cuts upfield, a flag on the play.
Tampa Bay wants the directional kick and kick away from the side of the return, which they did. They pinned Deion into the right side of the field here, and the return was on the left side.
And here comes Warren Sapp.
So the discipline for Warren Sapp was the first quarter.
Yeah.
Assistant head coach Herman Edwards was saying, I just can't wait for that
Illegal
clock
block
to
in the
tick
back.
over.
45 on the return team during the return. 10
Mike
yards.
Sellers
First down.
is called for the illegal block. Just beginning quarter number 2 with the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay 7, Washington nothing. 3 fresh defensive linemen, including Warren Sapp for the Bucs. Johnson back to throw. And going deep, and he's got a man. And the pass is caught by Albert Connell between Buccaneer defenders.
Yep, that's it. Cover 2. Rondé Barber was a short guy. Damian Robinson is number 24. He's a safety getting over. So here's the short guy. This is cover 2. Going to get a bump. He has to get over. Now he comes too flat. See, now watch him. See, he lets him get deep, and now when he turns, you see he hasn't either. By the time he gets over there, he's just a step too late, because that's Robinson's play. He has to make that play on that up. He has half the field deep.
47-yard pickup by the Redskins. Davis, the deep back. Johnson fakes to Davis and fires outside. The pass is juggled by Stephen Alexander, who wasn't down as a result of contact, got up and ran, and that was okay.
I tell you, Brad Johnson, we said he had trouble in that first quarter. He's sure coming back in this quarter. He throws that deep one, then he comes out here in the bootleg, hits Stephen Alexander. Alexander makes a great catch. Watch it, he kind of hits it down with the left and the right and the left. And again, he's not down by contact. And if you're not down by contact, you can get up and run. There he's down by contact
and out by contact.
Helmet flying off and everything.
Brad Johnson back to throw it again. Sapp got there just about the same time he let it go. Warren Sapp put the heat on Brad Johnson. I'd like to be able to tell you what happened to Warren Sapp and why he didn't play in the first quarter.
He's on Jay Lewenberg there, and they start a stunt. That's one of the things that they do. We said that they're so quick. I mean, they're not the biggest, strongest guys, but they're so quick that they can either make that straight ahead move or they can make those stunning moves, and they do all of the above.
2nd and 10. Looked as if they were starting something unusual, like a flea flicker or something like that.
Prior to the snap, false start, 88, offense, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
James Jenkins is number 88.
Yep, here's 88 right here. And as you see, oh yeah, he moved real early. But watch that, it is going to be a flea flicker. See, he handed to Stephen Davis. Stephen Davis was turning back there. It was funny, earlier in the pregame, Norv Turner walked out of the field. There was some fan right down here in front of us yelling at him, "Hey, Norv, use the flea flicker today." He hit about 5 times. Norv, flea flicker.
You think that's why he did it?
Yeah.
Davis dropped it. Might be a good thing.
I don't know, that this disciplinary action hasn't affected Warren Sapp. It kept him fresh for this second quarter, because he is sure coming. He's sure coming here. He's beating one guy, then another guy, then the other guy goes back and he gets him again. tackling anything that's in his way.
He's fresh.
He's fresh and playing with reckless abandon.
Third down. Oh, a snap over the head of Brad Johnson, who wisely just fell on it. The snap went flying over his head.
That's when you snap the ball at 12 o'clock. That's Mark Fisher. Corey Raymer, their regular center, is injured and out for the season, and that ball just goes straight up in the air. Brad Johnson didn't have a chance. He did a smart thing by jumping on it and not letting the Buccaneers get it.
That took him out of field goal range as well.
Yeah, I mean, they make a couple of big plays, and then this happens to him.
Feels it at about the 9, where Tampa Bay will take over. Barnhart, the punter. Flag on the play.
Yeah, it's right there in the middle of the field, back there in the Redskin insignia. Is going to be against the Redskins, so they're going backward fast. I mean, they had a couple of big plays, and then they have a penalty when they're getting ready to run a flea flicker. Then they have a bad snap.
And now another penalty.
And now another penalty.
Holding, 85, offense, 10 yards, repeat, 4th down.
That's a big one. Joe Zelenka, who's the snapper.
Yeah, and that was the thing we said earlier, you know, that the Redskins, you know, do they have confidence? And I think confidence is a fragile thing. They got a little of it last week, but they had to get it early in this game to keep it, I think. And I think that they're a team that right now isn't playing with a lot of confidence, nor a lot of discipline.
Right. So Williams back to the punt, standing at about the 15. This time Barnhart gets off another dandy. Signals fair catch. They're right where they would have been. Tampa Bay leads 7-0 with 12:01 left in the second quarter.
Just while you're waiting to play defense again, you just need a towel.
That's Allstott. Stopped by Bruce Smith.
There's one thing about Les Steckel, the offensive coordinator, and Tony Dungy, the head coach. They have beliefs, and they're going to just stay with their beliefs, and you can see them get back to it. I mean, they started, and maybe we said, well, we'll try and run, but we're going to run outside, and that didn't work, so they just went right back to what they do the best. And when you're going to run these guys, you just run them inside.
That's Allstott behind King.
He's going to get a blitz inside this time.
King dropped it out to Mike Allstott, and Allstott lowers his head and his shoulders and gets a buck first down. Derek Smith.
That was pretty good. Watch big Jerry Wunsch. He's a right tackle. This is organized. He's going to swing out here. He's going to pull, and he's going to lead him. Now, this isn't bad for a big 340-pound guy. Boom, he hits his guy. Watch him pull out there, make that block right there. And that's the play that's the block that got Allstott about another 5 yards. But that was an organized play. When you pull that tackle out there, you're going to throw that swing to Allstott.
Deshaun Johnson in motion. 1st and 10. King out to Johnson. He is cut down after he leans forward by Champ Bailey. Bailey is playing better and better.
They say that, you know, that in his second year that they expect him to really be a Pro Bowler. You know, last year was he was a guy away from Gerald Green. He was the #1 draft choice, and now in his second season, they think he's ready to take it up one more level and be a Pro Bowler.
2nd and 7.
Deshaun Johnson has 4 catches for 12 yards.
This is Warren Gunn outside the 30. Sean Barber made the stop.
Yeah, it's interesting. We said they started to try and run outside. The Buccaneers did, and the Redskin defense did a good job of stopping the outside run. So now they're passing those loop passes to him. They threw a loop to the right out there to Allstott, and they came back and threw a loop to the left to Gunn. So they're running those loop passes in lieu of the outside run.
3rd and 5. There's more than one way to get outside, I guess. Redskins coming on a blitz again, and Sean King back to throw. Lofts a pass over in the direction of the Redskin bench. There's a flag on the play.
Eshawn Johnson is pointing at Deion Sanders, saying Deion Sanders had a hold of him. I think Sean King was just trying to throw the ball away, though.
I think he was too.
But there could have been holding downfield, because that penalty is downfield. And here's the one that Keyshawn was saying. But Deion Sanders just grabs a hold of him with his right hand, and he doesn't let go.
He still got him.
He
got him again.
He got him on the front and then got him on the back. Oh, but what they called was throwing the ball away.
Huh.
And the Dungeons saying, how about the holding? Oh, they did call that.
62, ineligible downfield. Offense, penalties offset. Repeat, 3rd down.
Jeff Christie.
And I think they could have called Sean King for throwing the ball away,
They
too.
could have.
Jeff Christie was downfield because it was supposed to be a screen. And then they came on a blitz, and he didn't get the screen off.
Third and 5 still.
Now this crowd's getting into it for their defense. This sounds like an old-time Redskins.
It does.
Redskins crowd. Remember those days?
Except there are more people now.
The Hawks and John Riggins and Joe Gibbs, those were great days.
80,000 on hand. Here's King to throw it quick. Throws high quickly, and a flag on the play again. That was intended for Riddell Anthony.
And that flag wasn't in the area over here of Deion Sanders. This is in the area where it's going to go against the Buccaneers.
Pass interference, 83. Offense, penalties decline. 4th down.
Dave Moore, the tight end. Deion Sanders back deep. Mark Royals to punt it for Tampa Bay.
Redskins are going to come on a punt block right now because they got everyone up in there to come on the block.
Royals gets it off quickly, and it's a good one. Sanders gets away from the first man down, but they got him again, hemmed up against the side. He lost the ball. Sanders fumbled. Washington got it back.
Yeah, really hasn't gotten to be the threat as a punt returner as a Redskin that he used to be as a 49er and a Cowboy. He was lucky there.
Now he was. Carrying the ball like that is asking for it.
Redskins having a little trouble on the offense moving the ball. Gene, you jump yourself in the coach's spot. What do you do to get them to move the ball and advance it down the field?
I think they may have to come with a little bit of a change up. They're really a zone blocking team. They run a couple little counters off of that look. It might be something just to give the defense a little bit of a change of pace if they can just not allow penetration, and just a little bit different timing arriving at the line of scrimmage could be a factor.
Yeah, Fox doesn't know what the delay is with the sound on the pitches, and we'll keep you up to date on that. Nick, quarterback controversy, 7-0 at this time. Does that cause a reason to make it brew again?
No, definitely not. That's not an issue yet, and hopefully we can get the sound back.
There's the counter.
Yeah, they go back on the ground again, which is it's the safety first route. You're going to see a lot of this, I think, for the rest of the ball game. You can't really challenge this Tampa Bay secondary.
You have last week, the Redskins averaged 2.8 yards per carry rushing. Is Tampa the type of team that you can gain your confidence against?
I think it's hard to run the football against Tampa. I mean, Tampa's an outstanding defensive unit. Had a stronger second quarter than they were the first.
Okay, let's get back to our match commentators.
Duncan tripped him.
You know, we were talking to Monty Kiffin, the defensive coordinator of the Buccaneers. He was saying, you know, that really the way you call defense is you call them against their play caller. And he says that Norv Turner is one of the most aggressive play callers that there is. And he said, you try and get their rhythm, you try and get what they're trying to call. And he said, Norv is one of the toughest guys to figure out in the league.
3rd and 3, Davis is deep. Johnson back to throw it. Incomplete. Intended for Irving. Fryer. Broken up by Donnie Abraham.
And that's another punt here. That was Donnie Abraham was all over Irving Fryer, and it looked like Donnie Abraham was trying to get that ball more than Irving Fryer was.
Williams again back for the Buccaneers. Tommy Barnhart to punt it. Barnhart's done a good job punting so far. Got this one out of there. Williams might have a chance with this one, but not much of a chance. A little tussle going on at about the 45 out of your picture. There's a flag.
Yeah, the tussle is just up the field a little in the next pile up.
James Thrash.
There's where the tussle was happening, right there.
Yep.
There's a late flag. This is going to be one of those post-possession penalties.
One of those deals where whoever started it probably won't get caught, but the guy who retaliated does. Seven nothing. Tampa Bay over Washington. 7:34 left in the first half.
Andre Wash is the umpire.
Personal foul against both teams. They'll offset.
Personal foul, number 88, kicking team. Personal foul on the return team, number 58. Penalties offset. First down for Tampa Bay.
Don Davis and James Jenkins. They offset, no harm. 7-0, Tampa Bay lead.
Well, you see James Jenkins, that was the first penalty, and then Don Davis is number 58. And watch him rip, brink, brink, right there. So they got the, and now he's over there in the bench explaining how he did it. Look, I got the guy that, it's easy to laugh when there's really no penalty because they're offsetting.
And they're 60, 70 yards away.
He's not talking to the coach.
Throws upfield, and the pass is caught by Patrick Hape. A gain of about 9. It's an unusual looking play.
That's an unusual looking look right there. That's where you take the oxygen tank off the tank, and then you just put it and you just take it like that. I've never seen that. Usually they have an oxygen person now who passes you the oxygen while you're just sitting there in the bench.
There's Allstott. Gets the first down. Gets close to midfield.
I'll tell you, when Allstott comes in there, he brings the load, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
I mean, he's had a little history of fumbling, but as Tony Dungy says, when a guy runs like that and does what Mike Allstott has done for us over the years, you can't not run him. Watch him coming in here. I mean, he just makes everything go backward. I mean, you see how he gets that shoulder pad level down? And then, you know, in that package, he weighs about 250 pounds.
Yep. End around coming, or Warwick Dunn coming on a reverse, which the Redskins read perfectly and knocked him out of bounds.
Deion Sanders read it perfectly.
James Cameron, the director of The Terminator, brings you his new series, Dark Angel. The 2-hour premiere kicks off Tuesday at 9, 8 Central after this season premieres of that 70s show and Titus on Fox.
And that was a heck of a play by Deion Sanders. I mean, that looked like the old Deion there. When he saw that reverse come, he started back, and then he came like he was shot out of a rock.
King misses Dunn. Go back and look at Deion again.
That was just right here where Dunn is going to try and outrun him and get around that corner, and Dion just puts on the burners, and there's no way. And then he not only hits Dunn and knocks him out of bounds, but he hits him and knocks him sideways.
Both played at Florida State, of course. Dion a little bit before Warwick Dunn.
He may outlaw some of Dion's weapons the way he's hitting.
3rd and 10. King out of the shotgun. And the Redskins showing blitz. And they come on the blitz. King gets away from one, gets away from two, and is forced out of bounds by Arrington.
It is a guy that is, over the years, is really going to be a big player for this Redskin defense. That's LeVar Arrington, their #1 draft choice. They had 2 #1 draft choices this year, Samuels and Arrington, and they're both going to play for a heck of a long time for this franchise.
Deion Sanders goes back, stands at the Redskin 10. Here's another good kick. Deion lets it sail, and it goes out of bounds, takes a Buccaneer bounce.
See, they have a key. There's a side where they have one guy on the return. That's going to be the side away from the return. The return is going to be to the side of 2 guys up in the line, so they punt away from the 2 guys. If that makes sense.
Royals got the good bounce. The race for the World Series on Fox begins.
York on Tuesday night.
Well, the Yankees have to travel.
They're just
flag on the play.
Flag right here, and they're pointing towards Tampa Bay. This is a funny time for a flag to come out, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Talking with Brad Johnson. Here comes Tony Dungy out on the field to see what it's about.
When I used to go out in the field, they used to tell me that was a penalty to get out there.
I thought, yeah.
Substitution on the offense. 12 men on the field.